Kevin Conroy has died, and yet people are still making art as if Batman the Animated Series didn't already exist.
FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange, went bankrupt, leaving everyone who held FTX tokens at a loss, which is just what fractional reserve banks using fiat currency like the US dollar are like. Am I right, libertarians?
It's another edition of Millennial versus Gen Z. You know how that always turns out.
All this and four morons.
The B-Weekly.
Our sponsor today is a very unique gift company, Highland Titles. The company, which has been running for 16 years, can make you a lord or a lady for less than $50. The way they do this is by allowing you to buy a piece of land, as little as 1 square foot from their Highland estate. This legitimately makes you a Scottish landowner, allowing you to claim the title of lord or lady. The best part is that not only will you become a lord or a lady, you will help preserve the landscape, because Highland Titles manages the land as a nature reserve. According to TripAdvisor, the Highland Titles Nature Reserve is one of the most popular nature reserves in the country. Now, as we head into the Christmas period, or for any special events such as birthdays or anniversaries, by visiting highlandtitles.com, you can get an amazing and truly everlasting gift for your loved one. Once you have ordered your gift from Highland Titles, you or your loved one will get an official, personalized certificate and a beautiful gift pack in the mail. Access to the online dashboard where you can download your certificate, view images of the land, and if you ever visit Scotland, you can visit your very own small patch of the Scottish countryside at the Highland Titles Nature Reserve. The gift has more than 14,000 reviews on Trustpilot with an average rating of 4.8 out of 5. By visiting highlandtitles.com and using the discount code BUZZ, you will receive 15% off anything on the site, my lord. Hey everyone, welcome to the Babylon Bee podcast, the only podcast on the internet. I'm hanging out with Marlon Brandon, Morgoth, and Adam Yesner.
The greatest name of all time.
Yeah.
Which
Adam
is
Yesner.
a joke that none of you get. You want to explain why I'm calling you
yes,
Adam Yesner?
so I have a big announcement. My Dry Bar Comedy special, if you're fans of Dry Bar Comedy, is coming out November 25th. I taped it last year. I'm very excited it's coming out. It's called Adam Yesner, Not Big Enough to Cancel. They released the title graphic today, and they spelled my name wrong. It's Yesner, and they put Adam Yesner. So after a year of building up to this and emailing with them,
You were like trying to get them to put it out.
But I'm very excited for it, and we'll get them to fix it. It's just a spelling issue. People often do that with my name. They switch the N and the S and call me Yesner. And when it happens live at a stand-up show, I can make a joke out of it afterwards. But when it's in promotional material, it's hard to go back and fix.
When I heard they spelled your name wrong, I'm like, how do you spell Adam wrong?
It's pretty simple.
I was at a Starbucks recently, and you know the baristas always get the names wrong. They didn't spell it wrong on the cup, but this was when I was home in Allentown visiting my family. I went to Starbucks, and she goes, "Can I get a name for the cup?" And I said, "Adam." And she goes, "Is that Adam with an H?" What? And I like stared at her. I don't think she's doing a bit. I'm thinking, and I go, "No. How do people spell Adam with an H?" He goes, "Oh, I've seen it spelled ADHM." And in my head, I'm like, "No, you haven't. No one's ever spelled it that way."
Abram?
I feel like they're just trying to teach the baristas how to spell names wrong.
Like you're on a candid camera bit, like you used to mess with people.
Yeah, like when I used to
Now
mess
they're
with
messing
people.
with
I
you.
thought about that. I thought maybe it's somebody messing with me, but it was such a weird thing to say. Yeah.
Maybe you messed with them back on your old Ellen segments, and they were like, "Now's my chance."
Now I can mess with him. And there's no cameras or audience. It'll just be in my head forever that I messed with him.
This has been Adam Yesner.
Yes. That'll be the title of my next special.
The Weekly News with Adam.
Yesner.
Adam with an H.
Yesner.
That's a good name of a comedy special. Well, we are joking about comedy, but now it's time for somberness, because Kevin Conroy, the voice of Bruce Wayne and Batman, who are the same, spoilers, but they're the same. Yeah. In Batman the Animated Series and various TV series, feature films, video games, the Arkham games, has passed away at the age of 66.
Greatest Batman.
The greatest
Definitely,
Batman,
yeah.
I think, top of the list for sure. And we'll talk more about Kevin later, but for now, let's have 3 seconds of silence. We've also got Sizzler Facts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You were going in for the bit, and I stopped.
No, it's
stepped
good.
on
You're
you.
good. No, you're good.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We've got Sizzler Facts this week, though. Oh, by the
Yeah,
way,
it's a good one.
And there's some FTX story that I read, but I don't. It says FTX
with a question mark.
FTX. There's a question mark after it. It's something I've seen in the news. Some guy He lost all his
sounds
billions.
crazy, yeah.
But I don't follow any of that stuff close
And there
enough
was
to understand.
also
No,
some
he lost other
potential
people's
money
billions.
laundering thing
Yeah.
going on, potentially.
It's a
I
crypto
think that
thing, and it was like
might be
big Democrat
speculative.
donor, and he just
Yeah.
took off on a plane to Argentina. It sounds fun.
And something about Ukraine.
Ukraine also gave to FTX, and then
Yeah,
and then FTX gave to Democrats, and then Democrats gave to Ukraine. Yeah,
that's right.
full circle.
Hey, everybody, do you want to meet everybody in this room? Then go to BabylonBeLive.com and buy tickets for our new Be Live event.
Wow.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be in Dallas/Fort Worth, Texas on February 24th.
Or Fort
Wow.
Worth. We were just down there, and
It's Fort
it's Fort Worth. It's in the DFW area.
But most people, you say Dallas.
I always used to call it Dallas, but then when we were down there last week, people are like, "Oh, that's Fort Worth."
I feel like
There's
Fort
like
Worth
a-
is well known enough
Yeah.
that it's its own thing. But
I feel like because the airport is the same, I just think they're the same.
But it's at an awesome venue called River Ranch.
Yeah,
we
we
checked it out.
we
It's
visited it last
beautiful.
week. It's
They've
gorgeous.
got-
It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
be-
like old Western theme. They got a bunch of different stages and stuff. They got great space for it. Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, when is it?
it is on February 24th of 2023.
Wow.
Reserve your tickets today. Tickets are selling out like hotcakes. All our VIP tickets are already gone, I think. I think they're last I checked there was one
Sad.
more,
No,
so
they're
probably
gone
all
now.
gone. Yeah.
They're trying to move a bigger space to maybe sell more VIP
okay.
because they sold so quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, please don't miss out. And even if you don't get VIP, because the big draw of VIP is that you can come and actually like hang out and maybe have a cigar with some of the folks here. Because Brandon loves cigars. And
Experience the awkward silences of all the Babylon Bee introverts
Yes.
in person.
Yeah.
you can experience that in person. But we will also be hanging out in the general admission area for most of the show. That was just kind of an after show with the VIP. So please do that. That's
There'll be
gonna
lots
a
of
lot
great
fun.
events. There'll be live sketches, podcast discussions. Yeah, it'll be awesome.
And a live video address from Adham Yesner from Finland.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't run this by you
yeah.
yet.
Something really
I'm down with that. We'll see.
Something really exciting. I've been really excited about these. We got some new stickers on the merch store.
yeah.
This is my personal favorite.
wow.
This is the anodized titanium look. Some people say it
Upside
looks.
down.
Oh,
Anodized titanium.
That sounds
I would have
that
been
sounds
like,
good.
I've been like, we have these shiny stickers.
The shiny one.
over on Kyle's stomach, the perfect place to show them.
These are, what are these anodized?
Those are holographic.
Oh,
Those
just
are the
holographics. The shiny ones.
Turn them from side to side to display the glorious radiance.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Also, we hit 1 million YouTube subscribers
Well,
on our main
we have one more
channel.
sticker. We have the brushed aluminum.
Oh,
Aluminium.
where is it?
I thought you stuck it to me, and I was looking. I'm like,
I handed it to you.
Did you?
Oh, it's right here.
MJ clearly
I was
loves
looking
her
down
sticker.
and
She
like-
threw it on the ground.
Then the brushed aluminum.
I feel like.
So each of these
I-
is different?
So these are like more silver shiny. That's like a rainbow kind of look.
Anodized titanium.
Are you
And-
colorblind?
He's very
If
insistent.
you squint, you can see the difference.
And that one is like a light color, kind of.
This one's a
like
little
silver with-
less
with
gay.
brush.
I would have said we have these 3 shiny stickers.
Buy the shiny stickers. Shop.babylonbee.com. Also, we hit 1 million YouTube subscribers on our main channel.
Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
Let's we had a massive celebration, a video to thank
You will
our
not believe what we
subscribers.
did.
So let's play that video here. Thanks.
Is the meeting over?
They were very excited, or we were. Them, us. in that
Conservative
video.
Christians know how to party.
Yeah,
Yes.
we sure do.
I'm kind of feeling like a Starbelly Sneetch with these stickers.
It's upside down.
Are you kidding?
What's a starbelly sneetch?
From Dr. Seuss, when they have all the stars on their bellies. I don't know. And then they go in the little machine.
I don't remember the name of that book, but there was a book where he has a thing about the guys who have the stars. The creatures that have the stars think they're way better than the creatures without the stars.
That's how I
Sounds
feel about
vaguely
Twitter
familiar.
blue check marks right now.
Oh, yeah?
They're melting down. They're like, what do you mean you also get this?
It's a very blue.
Yeah.
It's just like the blue check.
It's like a blue check. Nice.
All right, well, let's talk about what's in the news this week.
What's in the news this week?
So here's what's in the news. Republicans failed to take the Senate. The best they can hope for now is 50-50 if Herschel Walker wins his runoff election in Georgia. So Republicans have till December 6th to figure out how to mess that one up. They will have a slight majority in the House, though. But even if they get the 50-50 split, Kamala Harris is the tiebreaker. So
She tends to vote
Yeah.
with the Democrats.
yes,
sometimes.
she usually does. Yeah, she doesn't seem very moderate.
And we just found out just recently that Carrie Lake lost the governor race to Katie Hobbs in Arizona, who was also in charge of counting the ballots. Which, okay,
Yeah.
maybe.
She refused to debate Carrie, didn't she?
And she
And that
refused
was
to
like a
debate
big
her.
thing that, I don't know, I
Yeah.
think Democrats or Republicans were banking that would really hurt her.
It didn't seem
Turnout.
to matter.
Republicans
No.
usually seem to want to debate, and
Yeah.
the Democratic candidates like, no.
I don't think so.
What's interesting because, they slammed Katie for not debating and then John Fetterman debated and they're like, why did he do that?
Well, it worked for him apparently somehow.
Yes. Because we nominated someone who could lose to that.
It's like if you nominated anyone other than Dr. Oz, you win that, right?
I
mean, not anyone.
Presumably.
Sure, like-
It's Pennsylvania. Maybe if there was somebody who was, more of a moderate or not a MAGA candidate. It's hard to say, though. But when I went back to Pennsylvania a few weeks ago, it was Fetterman signs everywhere. So
Well, you can always count on Republicans to let you down. What can I say?
Absolutely.
yes, yep.
I will almost invariably vote just straight Republican down the ticket. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, I hate you all. I hate you all. I hate you.
I'll vote for you, but I hate you. All right.
But
well,
I mean, also, let's not take some of the blame away from the Libertarian Party, who
Hey, now.
always
Yeah.
clinches the.
didn't they
clinches
ruin the
vic-
Georgia race? Was that one?
They
of the
ruin
ones?
every race.
Yeah, but on the bright side,
They're like, we're gonna do it this time. Yeah, 1%.
We'll get
be
Slim House
fair-
control, and Ron DeSantis won in a
Yes.
massive.
So it's not nothing.
So yeah, it wasn't terrible.
To be fair, you're not giving us a lot to work with when you again nominate Dr. Oz.
It's
You
true.
have a soft,
Absolutely.
it's
Take no
right
responsibility
there.
for that.
I'm
He's a
begging
doctor.
you.
Yeah,
I'm
but
begging you to please nominate someone that I can vote for.
not happy with Dr. Oz. But it's never going to be the Libertarian. It's never going to be the Libertarian. So as you get Oz or Fetterman, and the Libertarians are like, oh, we got a chance this time.
Well, the guy with the boot on his head makes some really solid points.
You got me there. You got me there.
I have met Vermin Supreme.
What does he want to give? Free ponies to everyone?
It was he said free ponies, and he had a zombie apocalypse response plan.
I respect that. As
Wears
a
a boot on
doomsday
his head.
prepper, I really resonate with that. So
Nice.
I met him in a basement in New Hampshire where drugs were being done.
sounds about right for
Wait,
libertarians.
that sounds like where
Where
they would
else
live.
do you find libertarians besides the basement?
I'm not lying. That happened.
There's a big convention center for the Democrats and Republicans. It's like, oh, you want to talk to the Libertarian? He's down there. Just a staircase.
Ask for the guy with the boot on his head. But apparently, Republican Senate candidates in every swing state were heavily outspent by Democrats, not including PAC money. And it looks the margins are insane: 73 million to 9 million, 46 million to 12 million, 36 million to 2 million. So the Democrats poured a ton of money to try to hold that Senate majority.
I'm curious what the actual correlation is between money. I understand that more eyes obviously
Affects things certain times.
more
Yeah,
eyes, but
right.
I mean, I wonder how much that does, because I always hear people talking so much about the money,
Yeah.
the money. But I mean, at the end of the day, shouldn't ideas win out over just, oh, I saw this guy's name on a billboard, let's vote for him? I don't know.
I feel like a lot of the money is spent just to win that slim margin of swing
Yeah,
voters. It
right.
seems like there's like 90% on both sides that
Right,
know
right.
who they're going to vote for. They'll
You mean
probably
the
vote straight
1% of
Democrat.
libertarians?
Yeah.
I mean, even like,
But
it
it's
doesn't
those
work on
people.
them.
It's like I feel like the money is just billions and billions to reach that little slim margin
Yeah.
that tips you one way or the other.
well, Laxalt, obviously 46 million versus 12 million.
Yeah.
And Laxalt lost by what, like 6,200 votes, something like that? Like 6,500 votes? It's crazy.
I'd love to know the total that they've spent on all Beto's campaigns, because that's just a money pit. You know, if there's anything, that guy's consistent.
I would like them to spend more on Beto's campaigns personally.
Yeah. Speaking of spending money, the $8 Twitter blue check marks are now unavailable after imposter accounts erupted on the platform. So I didn't hear about this. So they actually stopped doing the blue check marks now?
I didn't hear about that either.
I got my check mark within an hour of it being available to the public. I got the notification.
When Elon took over? Or like a long time ago?
So there was 2 days or so where you could buy a blue check on Twitter Blue. And as soon as I got the notification for the update, I'm like, I'm there. I've been waiting for it. Take my money.
And is it $8 once or is it $8 a month?
It's $8 a month,
Okay.
but honestly, I think I could do a good sales pitch for it, because it's not only the blue check mark you get to edit tweets, you get a custom app icon.
You get an anodized titanium sticker.
You get like custom navigation, but you get all these features. So when people are like, you paid $8 for a check mark, I'm like, I mean, yes, but
also
not just that.
Also, you're a better person when you get that check mark.
That's true.
Yeah.
People
opinions
also,
mean more.
my replies are priority, so everybody
really?
has to listen to me more. And it just makes
But
me feel
I
more
heard all the
important.
controversy about how, the people didn't want to pay $8 for a blue check mark, but I didn't know they stopped giving them out.
It was just like a short.
So, yeah.
Because people started impersonating people with the blue check
So
mark.
I'm happy that Elon is shaking things up. I think some changes need to be made. I think there has been a little bit of oversight or undersight of not being able to see all the fallout of doing things so hastily. But at the end of the day, if this causes Twitter to collapse into a pile of burning rubbish, I would be grateful.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with
Be a
that. I
good
would be
outcome,
happy with
actually.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what happened with the pharmaceutical companies. So someone made a fake Eli Lilly tweet, and it actually tanked their stock price.
Oh,
they
really?
Said, they
Did you
said
see this?
insulin
Someone
is
paid
free
$8 for Twitter Blue and wiped out $15 billion in market cap from a big pharmaceutical company because they tweeted, "We are excited to announce insulin is free now."
We all used to rally around hating the
hilarious.
pharmaceuticals, and then COVID hit, and now half the country loves the pharmaceuticals again. So
Yeah.
if the pharmaceuticals want to take a hit from this, I'm stoked.
The one story I saw last night, or last week rather, that a lot of the sort of left-wing media outlets and a lot of lefties on Twitter were saying, they're trying to say that Elon was attacking free speech. Like, he was attacking free speech because they claimed he was suspending accounts for making fun of him or impersonating him. But the only examples were when they impersonated him,
Right.
which was always against Twitter policies.
Not even
Like, no one was suspended just for making jokes about Elon Musk.
and it was only people who bought the blue check
Yeah.
mark and then
And they were
specifically
trying
tried
to fake the
look
account.
Like they were Elon
And
Musk.
Kathy
they
Griffin.
they
And
come
Kathy
up with this like narrative where they're like, oh, now he's being a hypocrite. But he wasn't attacking free speech at all. It was always against policy
They're
to
so
try to
dumb.
verify
People are
it.
just so dumb.
Verification should be open to everyone.
Yeah.
I think everyone should have that opportunity, but I think you should still have to verify who you are.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
change
I'm
your
a
name,
real
right?
person.
Like if you're
Yeah.
like your name is your name and you don't change it.
That's
Yeah.
why the reason I initially joined Twitter, I joined late, like 2018, because I wasn't really interested in it. But some Ellen fan made a fake account in my name, and they were tweeting out really bad jokes. And
Was
I
it
like,
Adam Yesner?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was,
they got my name right. Drybar didn't, but this random stranger did. But yeah, they were tweeting out like bad jokes. I was like, I don't want people to think this is me. So I opened one so I could shut that account.
And
I got to put my own bad jokes out
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Exactly.
And it wasn't offensive jokes like they were using the N-word or anything. It was just bad comedy.
No, I would have been fine if they used
Yeah.
offensive jokes. If they were good, if they were just good racist jokes, I would have been like, oh, I wish I would have thought of
Making you
that.
look good. Well, apparently Jay Leno was seriously burned on his hands and face in a gasoline fire while working on one of his cars, which burst into flames.
Yeah, it's a shame.
The sole, he's Republican, right? The sole Republican late night host.
I don't know.
He's never said, I don't know that he's ever said openly what he is, but his jokes always were at least more
not
moderate
leftist.
and sometimes
He's not a
right leaning. And like he did like Adam Carolla's Daily Wire show and stuff. He seems to be at least more
Have you met him?
sympathetic to the right. I never met Jay Leno. I know a lot of people that have done stand up with him or who wrote for him, but I have not met him personally.
One of your comedy heroes, I understand.
Well, we won't get into that, but I hope he recovers and he's doing well.
Well, also the big news this week was FTX, which is a cryptocurrency exchange. It went bankrupt, rocking the trillion-dollar crypto industry. Prices of digital currencies all fell. Bitcoin went down to 16,000. That was kind of a bummer, but I'm personally still holding.
I am too.
I'm still,
Yeah.
Hold the line.
yeah, hodl.
Hodler. or whatever it
Hodler.
said. Whatever the kids are saying.
Yeah, the CEO is Sam Bankman. His name is Bankman. You couldn't make
Put
this
up the
up.
meme.
That meme is fantastic.
Can we put up the meme? Did you see the meme?
Yeah, the lizard person.
Lizard people.
And then we
Literally
named
just named him Bankman.
So Alameda Research is this hedge fund that he's kind of tied up in, and he's dating the CEO, who's this very strange-looking girl, and it looks like they both just kind of ran off with.
Looks like a girl who had to memorize pi in high school.
It's true. She probably knows
little
more
ghoul.
digits than I do.
True goal.
One of those pi girls.
A little ghoulish.
Making callbacks to things that happened before the podcast started.
For my
Is
sound
this
check, I recited
his current
40
girlfriend or
digits
the
of
other
pi.
like polyamorous one? Because he was like in.
Oh, was he?
It was like
Was it a throuple situation?
it was like this. All these the members of this firm, they like all lived together and they were all in like
Mass
multiple
crypto
relationships with
orgies.
each other. Yeah, it was.
Cryptorgies.
I would pay to not be invited to that. That sounds awful.
I would pay $8 a month.
I would pay $8 a month.
But the big thing here is that they donated a ton of money to Democrats, and there's
And
like
a few Republicans too.
and there's some, oh really? And so there's some kind of conspiracy theory that they're donating money to Ukraine, and then Ukraine is buying the
No. So U.S. sent money to
U.S.
Ukraine.
sends money to Ukraine.
sent money to
buys
FTX. And FTX gave money to
to
Democrats.
Democrats.
Exactly.
Oh.
That was best with all of us saying it at this.
But it's not a conspiracy theory. Like
Now
that
I-
happened.
now I
Conspiracy
understand.
the
theory
one
is-
part I didn't see verified was so Ukraine was heavily buying FTX. That piece
I believe
was,
that is true. I believe all those individual elements are true, but it's not necessarily true that it was
intentional. Like
that they were all causally affected by each other.
it probably was.
I mean, I'll just believe any conspiracy
It's
because
true.
why not? I think it's funny.
Yeah, but Bankman-Fried was the largest Democratic donor behind George Soros, and that's saying something.
Okay. And Soros is left leaning.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So yeah, he gave $40 million to Democrats just in the last midterm elections here. So, all right.
But
well,
of
that's
course, that'll
good.
be investigated. Am I right?
Yeah, that'll definitely
We'll
be
get to the bottom
investigated.
of it when they're done investigating the Las Vegas
I have
shooting.
full. I have
out why
full
that guy
trust
shot
in the
500
feds
people,
to get to
yeah.
the bottom of this.
That whole thing just died. They
It just
never
there
went-
was all these weird things and then it just went away.
Same with monkeypox, but I can't say that.
Yeah, monkeypox also went away. Anyway, so speaking of monkeypox, Trump has announced that he is running, extending
What?
the 2024 election season, or beginning the 2024
Great.
election season. So.
Great news.
Oh, for president.
It'll be entertaining.
It will be. I've gone through such strong mood swings with Trump. Like in 2016, I was like, "What is this? What is this
Yeah.
court jester doing?" And then 2017 rolls around, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yes.
mega." Then 2020, after the election, I was like, "What are you doing? Stop
Yes.
it! Shut your mouth!"
I went
And
through
now
that exact same roller coaster.
I'm back to 2015. I'm like, "Who is this clown? Get out of here!"
At this point, I guess the only silver lining is the content we're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because he has the funniest one-liners when he's like, do you still believe in Santa? I guess at 7 it's marginal.
I guess it's
Well,
7.
and
It's
it'll be
marginal,
really
right?
interesting to see what happens because I feel like right now I was for a while leaning back towards like I want him to run again. And then as DeSantis' star rose, and he's done a really great job managing Florida in so many ways, and he's not as divisive or bombastic as Trump, I really started becoming a DeSantis supporter. And I think a lot of Republicans have kind of written Trump off at this point, like he'll just be a distraction or a wait. But, you know, there's a lot of people in the media saying that's what everybody said about Trump back in 2016. So who knows what his
I think people are getting angry that he's slamming another Republican like DeSantis. I don't think...
And
how
with
he's-
not good insults, Ron DeSanctimonious. Like, come on, come
not
up with
good.
something better than that.
Because I know a lot of Trump supporters, and they're just like, why? What is the purpose in this? You know, you're giving fuel to the left, and you had your moment. You know, you lost. It's time to pass the torch on.
And Ivanka said she's not going to work for his campaign this year. Did you see that this morning?
No.
Yeah, she put on Twitter that she's wants to focus on her family, and she won't be a part of the campaign this time.
The best part of his speech, though, is he said instead of just "make America great again," he said "make America great and glorious." I don't know if he had the again, but then does it become
that the
Magaga? Magaga. That's the new.
Make America great and glorious.
He also
Gaga.
called for the execution of drug dealers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's got my vote.
Sounds great.
Well, it's time for our banger of the week. Treasure in Heaven is great, but it's not going to buy you a tank of gas. So let's take a moment to briefly review the current state of our economy and the global effect the war between Russia and Ukraine has had. We're in for a tough year here, and Biden's printing and spending could be catastrophic for the US dollar and the market. That's why a growing number of financial analysts are recommending you diversify with gold and silver now. And the only company we recommend is Allegiance Gold. Our friends at Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver and have it delivered securely right to your door. The team at Allegiance Gold takes the time to educate their clients on the importance of having a financial portfolio that's diversified with gold and silver. Allegiance Gold has been one of the top precious metals firms in the nation for their commitment to protecting your hard-earned savings. They have an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, a 5-star rating with TrustLink, and they're AAA rated with the Business Consumer Alliance. If you act now by calling them and you mention Babylon Bee, they'll even give you $500 of free silver on a qualified purchase. Call 844-790-9191 to get this exclusive offer. Or you can visit allegiancegold.com/B. That's B-E-E. Call 844-790-9191. That's 844-790-9191. Or visit allegiancegold.com/BEE.
Banger of the week.
Fox News calls Arizona for Stacey Abrams. I don't think these Stacey Abrams jokes will ever get old to me. I don't know. Maybe they're worn out now. I don't know.
It is. She's like Beto. She's like a perennial loser. It's just fun to... And the fact that she wouldn't concede the first time she lost.
Well, she's entirely a media creation.
Yes.
Like, there's no real enthusiasm behind either her or Beto, except for that which people tell them, you must be excited about this candidate.
You have to like this person.
And some people are, like, swayed by that, and they become actual supporters. It's like, I'm gonna throw a friend under the bus. Like, when Kamala first announced her bid for presidency, one of my Facebook friends posted about it and said, yes! And I wanted to comment on it and say, tell me right now, without using Google, why you are excited for this candidate.
Yeah, what do you know about her?
And do not say that it is her race, because, let's be honest, it's her race.
Yeah.
It's a media creation. They're told to be excited because Stacey Abrams is a large black woman.
It was so politically.
Of the tooth gap
large.
community.
Large.
She's not a small or a medium. She's a large.
I don't know. I might put an X in front of that, but I can say that. I'm the woman here.
We also
I didn't even mention that she was a woman, but yes, that too.
Yes. We also have a bomb of the week, as always.
Bomb of the week.
Millions of Americans struggle to fill the void in their lives left by absence of political commercials.
Sad.
I like that one.
That's good. And there's a guy staring out the window.
Yeah.
Always good.
I don't really see as many political commercials, but I get the text.
Yes.
The texts are
I get
worse
texts
to me.
all the time.
I think the texts,
And sometimes I get them from both sides. I get them from Democrat candidates and stuff. I'm like, when did I sign up for this?
I mean, I feel bad for lonely people because that's probably election season is the time they get the most off.
Hello, how are you
Well, that's
doing?
what makes me mad. I try to text them back, and I'm like, hey, you want to go out for a drink?
Yeah.
And just nothing.
I did get
Hey, friend.
ghosted by Beto.
a few years ago. I did get one of those texts from a canvasser or whatever asking me if I was going to vote for. I think it was actually Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
And I just decided at that moment, I'm just going to keep texting them back and forth. And obviously, they will do absolutely nothing to ever change my mind.
Yeah.
But maybe I can take enough of his time away that he's not going to talk to someone else.
Have you ever seen those people that scam the scammers?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Like they'll just try to take up the time of one person.
Right. That's what I was doing. I was trying to do my small part in that.
That's great. Well, it's time for Sizzler Facts.
This one's a doozy. I think we should split this up among everyone.
All right. So here we go. 20 weeks
As
ago,
they all
we
are.
debuted a
As they
new
all
feature to the podcast called Sizzler Facts. This one's a little long. I'll take the first paragraph here. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Upland, California, a lone sizzler stood strong, representing truth, justice, and the American way. Built in the 1970s, the Upland Sizzler branch was a cornerstone of the Upland community. The local high school football team used to eat there before home games, walking across the street in their game jerseys.
And though it offered freedom and choices to its patrons, the community of Upland slowly grew apart from its culinary benefactor and refused to patronize the restaurant at a level that could keep it profitable to remain Opland. Thus, the Upland Sizzler met its untimely end.
After this particular Sizzler demise occurred, the new tenants of the building opened another restaurant, which they deceptively named Sizzlin'. Much like its predecessor, the new restaurant focused on steaks and salad bars, and even kept the same Sizzler banners around the restaurant.
Michael O. wrote on Yelp in 2014, I stopped there because my GPS had mentioned it was a Sizzler, but to my surprise, it was a generic knockoff. The restaurant still had Sizzler trays, and some of the other utensils still had Sizzler written on them.
Cindy O wrote a Yelp review in 2015 about how she was tricked also. If I hadn't asked for the Sizzler special from TV, we would still be in the dark. Sizzlin' is now closed and may be demolished this year to make way for a drive-through Starbucks. This is why we need blue check marks to verify people.
So I think
you couldn't have a fake Sizzler.
I think some of the reporting here was from the Daily Bulletin. Is that right? Because we actually pulled these facts from a newspaper that wrote a story about Sizzlin'. But I saw this Sizzler restaurant, and we used to go to this Sizzler restaurant in Upland, and then one day it closed, and a few months later...
The Upland football team?
No, I was not. And a few months later, it opened as Sizzlin'.
Sizzlin'?
And it's like they didn't want to change the letters on the sign, so they only replaced a few of them.
Wow.
But I actually never went to Sizzlin', and I didn't realize that they kept the same Sizzler signs
deceptive,
and menus,
yeah.
and people thought it was actually a Sizzler, but
It was like a Nathan For You bit before that was a show.
it was Dumb Sizzler.
Dumb Sizzler, yeah.
I was on DoorDash the other night, and I saw Sizzlin' Place. And that was like a Japanese restaurant, so...
Oh, Sizzlin'.
I don't know.
Huh. All right, and now it's time... Oh, this has been Sizzler Facts. And now it is time for Sizzler Comments.
Sizzler comments.
Here's a message from Chris.
Uday.
Sizzler comment. In Philly, there's an Indian Sizzler. Indian Sizzler LLC. And they give the phone number and the maps link if you want to call it. Okay, well that's another knockoff Sizzler, I guess.
Yeah.
So
There's a few of them.
all right. Well, this has been Sizzler Comments, and now it is time for Weekly News with Adam Yesner.
It's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
In a speech on Tuesday, Donald Trump officially announced that he's going to try to go back to the White House for more secret documents. And Republicans are now torn. Ron DeSantis is the better candidate and would make a great leader for our country. But on the other hand, it would be really, really funny to elect Trump again. In Chicago, a noose was found at the construction site of Barack Obama's presidential library. Investigators are still trying to determine whether this hate crime belongs in the fiction or nonfiction section. After flipping several seats in the midterms, Republicans have won control of the House of Representatives. House control is important because it determines which side to blame when neither side accomplishes anything. Twitter gave a blue verified checkmark to an account belonging to Jesus Christ, but blessed are those who have not verified yet have believed. Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series, died at the age of 66. After hearing rumors that the best Batman died, George Clooney issued a statement that he's still alive. Activists in Vienna threw black liquid on a famous Gustav Klimt painting to protest fossil fuels. Activists also threw black liquid on a Thomas Kinkade painting to protest how bad it is. UFC President Dana White is creating a professional pay-per-view slap fighting league, or you can just go to a Waffle House parking lot for free and wait for the magic to happen. Hundreds of demonstrators in China marched through the streets of Guangzhou to protest the country's harsh new COVID lockdowns. Hopefully China will end the lockdowns and let the people go back to being regular oppressed. At a local pageant in New Hampshire, Brian Nguyen became the first transgender model to win a Miss America event. So there's one pageant that found a way to keep Donald Trump out of the dressing room. For the talent portion of the competition, Brian opened a pickle jar, and during Q&A was the only contestant who could answer the question, so where do you want to go for dinner tonight? That's it for Weekly News. Come see me at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood December 10th and at Crackpots in Massillon, Ohio December 16th and 17th.
Well, thank you. That was great. You can catch him on Dry Bar.
Dry Bar.
on
November 25th.
25th. So check that out. All right, it is time for our tribute to Kevin Conroy. He has passed away at the age of 66. To many rational people, he is Batman. Many people are saying so.
Many of the smartest, finest people think
Everybody says so. He was not a comic geek when he got the role. Producers gave him a crash course on the character, and he had 5 minutes to prepare to be Batman before auditioning. Oh, that's cool.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
He really did like define Batman for our
Just the voice. It
generation,
was
though.
just
Like,
everything.
when I got home from school, Batman the Animated Series is what I would put on. It was just, and it was such a fantastic series.
Absolutely. And if you haven't watched the animated series, I highly recommend it. It holds up. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Greatest shows of
very well.
It really is, yeah.
And I feel like nowadays that like the Marvel kind of the Joss Whedon style of treating superheroes, it's like everything is played as a joke. Like Thor's like, I've got the hammer, and they're like, you're an idiot, you know?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. They satirize the character within the character, which can be funny as a subversion and humor and stuff. But Batman the Animated Series respected the source material, and
Yeah.
I was a Justice League the animated series person.
Okay,
And I
no
think
one
he
from
also-
that died this week, so let's go back to... No.
It was him. It was him
was
too.
Kevin
He also
Conroy, wasn't
voiced. Yeah, he also.
he probably voiced every Batman
Yeah.
for a long time.
I didn't
It
know
was
he
just
also did
such
the
an
Arkham,
iconic voice.
the Arkham games, the video games.
The Arkham games too, which he just did a great job. And Mark Hamill was also the Joker in those, which was fantastic. Conroy says, because he's dead now, as soon as they described his schizophrenic lifestyle, it bugged me. I thought, wait a minute, he is the Bill Gates of Gotham. He's the he invented vaccines and stuff. He is the most eligible bachelor. Everyone knows who he is, and he puts on a cape and no one recognizes him. Come on. So he came up with a dual-voiced reading. The naive scion's lilt and his alter ego's deep growl, who altered the legacy of the comic book he had a passing knowledge of. So I guess he was the one who came up with, like, he speaks in a more kind of gravelly voice when he's in the suit.
And Christian Bale
That's a
really
nice
took that to an
And
extreme.
Christian Bale said, interesting.
Who are you?
Swear to me.
Bale's voice did bug me. It bugs me a little bit. Yeah,
I wish I could do a Batman impression, but I'm a woman, so
Try it.
just
it's true.
Try it.
what should I say?
Say, do you bleed?
Do you believe?
No, bleed.
Lead.
Do you bleed?
Do you believe is what Bible Man says.
I've seen that. That was a wild experience.
And he's interesting. He says that he decided that the Bruce Wayne persona is the performance, and the Batman character is who he actually is. When he puts on the cape, he becomes himself.
Interesting.
That's a cool
I like that.
way of thinking about
Yeah.
it. So
Mark Hamill, who voiced the Joker and is one of the best Jokers, I would say, even though Mark
yeah.
Hamill in and of himself is a terrible person, he's a fantastic Joker. But he said basically he always loved working with Conroy, and he's noted as saying, when they offer me roles now, I say, is Kevin doing it? And then I don't even have to read the script if Kevin's doing it.
I'll just
So
do
that's
it. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Even though Mark Hamill is a Joker in real life,
In real life,
he is a great Joker.
Got
he
him.
plays a great villain because he is a great villain.
Oh, this was great. You
Yeah.
quickly
I
grabbed
was,
the screenshot.
I was able to grab, like, when they started texting me that Kevin Conroy passed in our Slack conversations, I looked at his Wikipedia quick because it was only on, like, one website at first. And, you know, people always update the deaths on Wikipedia, like, faster
They
than
have a
anything.
whole team of
Yeah.
people just sitting there.
But I was
waiting.
able to get a quick screen grab where the way they first updated this, at the bottom of his bio, they put, he is no longer among us. And they changed his picture caption to Kevin Batman. But I just like that goes, Kevin Batman's hilarious. And just that you read through, he was featured in the DC animated series
serious,
and all the
like,
original movies. He is no longer among us.
They didn't even
period.
capitalize Batman. They were trying to get that edited out so quick.
I wish that would become the way we announce celebrity deaths. Like, sad news
Tim
today.
Apple?
So is no longer among us.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a good phrase.
And now the Babylon Bee is presenting our picks for the top Batmans.
The Babylon Bee presents the definitive list of the best Batmans.
Is this just Kyle's picks?
I guess so. I think I gave.
I don't think any of us weighed in on
I think I
this.
gave mine, and we just all said okay.
I'm in pretty close agreement.
Pretty
with all
close.
I'm in
this.
close
Yeah,
agreement. Not
You guys can agree or disagree. Number 9, George Clooney. He was in Batman and Robin. Any comments on the Clooney's performance? Was this
have
the
comments
nipple?
on
Was this the
costume.
nipple
That's the
suit?
It was a nipple costume.
Yeah.
I also feel it just that one. It wasn't a good Batman, but I feel
wasn't good, yeah.
some of the ones in the '90s, like the very stylized Tim Burton ones, and then Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It felt like they were really trying to lean into like the visual, like comic book feel of it, and it just came across as almost too corny.
Yeah, I agree.
What I haven't seen a lot of the Batmans, but one of the old ones I remember, he like kisses Poison Ivy and then he peels off plastic lips.
I think it was
That was-
Batman Forever. That was
All right.
Val Kilmer, right?
So that brings us to number 8, Val Kilmer in Batman Forever. I thought he was a fine Batman. It's just
I have a
That
fond.
one was fine as a movie. It
was fine.
Yeah.
It's fine as a movie, but I have a fond place in my heart for the Batman Forever SNES game.
no okay.
I don't think I played that one.
And I do love the Burton Batmobile. That's probably my
Yeah,
favorite
that is a good
Batmobile. Number 7, Will Arnett in the Lego Batman movie. Some people might place this a little higher. I don't know.
I would maybe switch something out there. Yeah.
I think the Lego Batman movie is great. I don't know. Will Arnett's good in it, but I don't know how much of it is his voice acting. It's just
Actually,
great.
I've
It's just a great movie.
Actually, I've never seen Lego Batman, but I've seen the Lego movie where Batman was
Yeah,
in.
and I actually
Yeah.
I thought he was better in that than he was.
He's
in
better in the
as a side character than
I
when they made
agree.
him the whole thing. Number 6, Ben Affleck. I thought Batfleck was fine.
I didn't see that one.
Batman v Superman and Justice League. I thought he was fine. I with a lot of these actors like Clooney, Kilmer, Affleck, even Pattinson, it just kind of feels like a Hollywood actor gets to a certain age and it's like, well, I guess I'll play Batman now. Like I don't know if I buy them that much, but
I actually really liked Robert Pattinson's because I liked it how it was kind of a film
was-
noir and they leaned more into the detective angle, which is something that I think the animated series did
Yes.
a bit more than the superhero angle. So
Absolutely. So that brings us to number 5, Robert Pattinson in The Batman.
He was better than I expected him to be.
I liked him.
I had other problems with that movie,
Yeah.
but I thought he was really good as Batman.
I liked him. I did think there was too much of his acting, which isn't necessarily his fault, was just him slowly turning and looking at the camera, and like with dramatic music.
I did not like the movie, but the
I didn't think it was great. I had some issues.
the
with
little
it, but I thought he
clip,
was good.
the little clip we played at the intro for this segment from Californians Moved to Texas, episode 2. Our actor Carrie was improvising a line, and she said she was just supposed to make something up, and she turned to the table and said,
Who's y'all's favorite Batman?
"So who's y'all's favorite Batman?" That was my favorite improv line. It made no sense, but I had to keep it in the sketch.
I was like, let's cut that line. It's not good for pacing. And you're like, no, we're keeping it in there. I'm like, okay.
But immediately after that, where I did cut it, she said, "Mine's Robert Pattinson."
Well, I grew up with him as Edward Cullen, so I went into that movie and I'm like, I'm gonna try to have an open mind, but this is Edward Cullen to me, and so I walking out and being like, all right, it was a believable Batman to me. I was impressed,
solid.
and that's all I needed. to
The vampire bat. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, number 4, Adam West from the 1960s cheesy ones.
Adam West.
Adam Wets in the 1960s Batman.
Thank you for the pity fake laugh.
You always can tell when Adam's fake laughing. It's true. Do you have a fake laugh? Is that a polite?
I have a forced laugh. I
Like,
think sometimes. Yeah.
Jarrett's real laugh sounds like a fake laugh. And he does this weird like shoulder shake while he does his fake sounding laugh.
He just laughs at everything. He loves that guy loves everything.
Have you ever done it where you lay on the floor and cross your arms and someone pushes on your chest and it apparently shows your true laugh? You cannot stop laughing. It's like a guttural belly laugh.
Should we try
We
this?
do. I
Sounds like
feel
something
we
you
should
do
it.
to a baby.
Yeah.
And the
Should
baby
we
would
try
just
this
keep
right now?
giggling.
It's honestly hysterical.
So what do I
Lay
do?
on the floor.
All right, lay on the floor.
It's getting weird in here.
Now cross your arms. And I need you to say ha ha ha, and I'm gonna push down.
True laugh.
When do I say ha ha ha?
Just start saying it. Go ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Stop it.
Kyle's true laugh, everyone.
But yes,
I don't know if
Adam
that-
West was a good Batman.
I don't know how well the sound was picked up because we weren't mic'd. But
You just can't stop your laugh.
I should have moved the mic.
Well, now we're gonna try this with everybody later on.
Yeah.
Adam West. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, which is one of the greatest lines of all
Yeah.
time. Number 3, Christian Bale in Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. Even though the voice was a little too gravelly,
He was still good. Yeah.
I love Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job. Number 2, Michael Keaton in Batman 89 and Batman Returns 92. I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I liked that they kept him just being this cheesy 40-something-year-old suave playboy character. He was just kind of
Yeah.
like a goober, and I liked that. I don't know. And finally, number 1 should come as no surprise. Kevin Conroy. Batman Animated Series, New Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, etc. That is the correct choice.
He was the best, yeah.
Any agreement or disagreement with the list before we move on?
I disagree with a few, but it's a
But
good list.
nitpicky. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's...
I guess I haven't seen enough of that.
I haven't
to
seen Ben
disagree
Affleck,
with
so I don't know
authority.
where to put him. But other than that,
I don't have
a
agree
phoned-in
most of it.
performance.
Yeah.
I don't have
perhaps,
enough emotional connection to Michael Keaton, so
Okay.
Christian Bale might go a little higher for me.
Christian Bale.
I
there you
could
go.
see tying those for number 2, Christian Bale and Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Because they're very different performances, but I enjoy them both.
I think Ben Affleck could have been better, but the movie
Affleck. Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck shows how much I like him. But I feel like the source material didn't give him a ton to work with. Just
Well,
the
that's
movie
fair.
itself.
That's fair for a lot of the Batmans in the lower half of the list that they just didn't have a strong.
Is this definitively all the Batmans? Like, there's no obscure ones. Like with James Bond, there's like a George There's no one that like in a commercial
There-
somewhere
there
or in
used
some
to
random
be-
clip. Like
Keanu Reeves voiced Batman in like a recent side bit. So, but I didn't include any of
In,
those.
in Scooby Doo, like the old Scooby Doo cartoons,
Oh,
they
that's
used to have
right.
Batman and Robin.
I don't know who
sometimes in the
voiced in
episodes.
those.
Yeah, was
I
there?
don't, but they also had Adam West as a guest star.
He might
Yeah.
have
I
voiced
think
him.
he
It's-
might have done
Maybe.
It's
Batman
possible
in
he
those.
voiced him.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
That was
Yeah, so I
fun.
didn't include side bits, and I was considering leaving out Will Arnett as well, just because it's kind of a parody of the character.
Yeah.
But
I think he did a really good job actually, though. So I think
I do agree. It was much better in the Lego movie than the Lego Batman movie. though.
yeah, I agree with that. All right, well, now it is time to own Gen Z with facts and logic. Americans are discovering that if we want to change the nation, we have to change the way the marketplace works. And that change starts with you, with your local communities, and with your wallet. Be deliberate with your dollars and reject woke corporations. Imagine a world in which every single dollar you spend would go towards companies that share your values for life, liberty, and patriotism. Now with the Public Square app, you can. Public SQ, or Public Square, is an app and website that connects freedom-loving Americans to the community and companies that share their values. Engage in a nationwide platform with the largest directory of patriotic businesses and consumers, all while accessing exclusive savings at businesses that see the world the way you do. The marketplace is free to join for consumers and business owners alike. To get started and shop your values, download the Public Square app from the App Store or Google Play, or click on the link in the video description.
Gen Z in the hot seat. Movie quotes.
Whenever we talk to people of the younger generation, sometimes we make references here. We talked about this with Chandler when she was on a week or two ago, that we made some reference and she was just staring at us blankly. And we were like, what? You don't know that? Obscure 80s sci-fi movie? And so what we decided to do is we're going to quiz our Gen Z social media manager here, Morgan, on some classic movie quotes and see how many she can recognize.
So I'm the first year of Gen Z, so I'm 24. So I feel like an honorary member of the Black Eyed Peas, honestly, is about the age I
Wait,
am.
first year.
We're old. We don't know who that band is.
Yeah, who's the black?
Boom Boom Pow
I know
was
the band.
core to my development as a person. I was like 10 when that came on. I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened
So
to
you
me.
say
along with a strict adherence to a memorization of pi.
Yes.
It's true.
And then
I
is
was
she
trying
going to
be
give
cool.
us quotes from like TikTok videos or
so
something?
at the end she's gonna have some quotes for us.
Okay.
But first we'll do this part. And so you say you're first year Gen Z. That means you're old.
Yeah, I'm like
You're an old
Gen
woman
Z.
to Gen Z.
She's
Yeah.
a Zelder.
She's an elder Z.
Like I was never downloading music on LimeWire or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but I don't identify with whatever the gender goblinness of whatever's going on
You
now.
escaped that by the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's. I guess Adam can start, and we'll go this direction.
Okay, cool. First one, you must cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring.
That feels like a Monty Python quote. Is that Monty Python?
That's good. Do you know which Monty Python movie? I give you credit for knowing it's Monty Python, but do
I've
you
seen
happen
the
to know
Holy
which?
Grail, maybe, but I know the other one is Life of Brian.
Which one do you think that's from? We'll give you credit either way. Just
Holy Grail.
Yes.
Yeah, good
correct.
job.
Nice.
Off to a good start.
all right. Awesome. 1 for 1.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Mine is Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Whenever I hear Australian accents, I'm like Owen Wilson. I don't know. Shrimp on the Barbie.
But which Owen Wilson?
They're all the same. It's just a movie with Owen Wilson.
Does he ever speak in an Australian accent in any of his movies?
Yeah, but that just sounded like Owen Wilson.
Okay, sure.
Kangaroo Adventures.
Very close. It's Dumb and Dumber.
And it was
Opening
Jim
scene of Dumb and Dumber. with Jim Carrey, yes.
Kangaroo Adventures. Is that a thing?
Kangaroo Jack was a
Kangaroo
thing.
Adventures. She just made up a movie.
Yes.
Right.
All right, we've got 1 point so far. Yeah, 1 out of 2 so far.
All right.
Mine is there some kind of vest that I could wear?
Oh,
Do you want to say it with the...
shoot.
Should we be saying it in the
I'm trying not to.
voice?
I'm reading
I
it
was
more
just
dry.
reading mine
Is
straight.
there some kind of vest that I could wear?
Gosh, wait.
If she's stumped, we could do the voice.
Do the voice.
Is there some kind of vest that I can wear?
Like Nick
That's
Swardson.
that's
There's some sort of...
Oh shoot! I know this movie. I've seen it. Give me the first word of it.
I cannot. I cannot give you the first word.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Hey,
That's
all right.
Kip. That's
Great
Kip.
job.
That's
Nice.
Kip.
Great job. 2
All
for
right.
3. All right.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Who's Miles Davis?
I can try to do it more in the character voice. I don't
I
know.
mean,
if
I
that'll help.
don't know if it'll help. That
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
wasn't much different.
I got the inflection.
No, we said use the character's voice.
That was the Adam Yester voice.
That was Adam Yesner.
Pass. I got no
All right.
guess.
All right.
That is from Billy Madison.
A classic.
Adam Sandler. Classic.
Okay. So you got 2 so far. I have 2 guns, 1 for each of you. And I have a bonus quote to help you out. I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, that's I watched that. It's a Western.
Hey,
It's shoot, I'd watch this for film school. I'm the worst film major ever. High Noon, not High Noon, Shane? No, not Shane. Hang on.
Name every Western. You're going to get through it.
Hang on.
if you name every Western, you'd get it.
Sundance Kid.
No, it's of grave importance that you get
Oh
this,
no.
though.
All right, hang on. Oh no.
That was good.
You're really going to get buried if you fall behind here.
I'll be your I literally just watched this the other year.
Did you watch pizza? Did you eat pizza while you
I was going to
watched
say,
it?
if you don't get this, you're not going to get any frozen pizza.
It took me a second.
This is such high stakes.
Yeah.
So much pressure. Tombstone.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. We got 3 correct so far.
All right. I have, what is this? A center for ants?
I've heard this quote too. Oh my gosh, what is this? The Center for is Oh no.
Adam Yesner is not a fan of this movie.
He does not like
No,
this.
it's
You're a hater.
And he has said
of this
so on the
movie?
podcast
said it
several
multiple
times.
times.
That might throw you off if you don't remember.
I mean, I edit the podcast.
Yeah, I was
should
thinking you
know.
would maybe know.
You're
I've never made it through this movie because every time I watch it, it's so bad.
Dodgeball. You hate Dodgeball.
I
mean, you're a
I think is
disliker.
okay.
of
You're in the
Dodgeball.
right-
You're in the
you're
right.
in the
You're in the
right
ballpark.
kind
You're
of
in the
like
dodgeball part.
Type of movie and era,
Yes.
sort of. You're close.
And people.
What is it?
Oh, yeah. I'm looked up.
Yeah.
What is it?
And similar actors that might share roles in those films. Yeah.
Zoolander.
Hey, all right. All
Yes.
right.
Yep.
All right.
I was wondering how much you would get just from the proliferation of meme culture.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
a meme.
lot of
Yeah,
reasons.
because I recognize the quotes. I'm like, I know this,
Right.
and I've seen Zoolander, but I just it doesn't stick.
Okay, great. So we got 4 so far.
Nice. You're doing pretty good. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Is it a Nick Cage movie?
It is not. A
Okay, I don't know. What is it?
All right.
You don't know Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, here's mine. Marriage. Marriage is what brings
That's
us
the Princess
together.
Bride.
Oh,
today.
you didn't get to finish. Wow.
Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that
Good.
dream within a dream. You got it right. Good job.
Yeah,
Chris.
thank you.
Love. True love. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, my next is human sacrifice. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Human sacrifice, dogs, cat.
She's like, human sacrifice.
These things have.
It's like that Venn diagram. Of the, yeah, the
A movie about human sacrifice,
Dog.
cats and dogs, and mass hysteria.
What is it?
This is Bill Murray in Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Finally,
I've definitely seen that. I just want to put it out there. I just didn't remember the quote.
this is my last one. What we do in life echoes in eternity.
I know this quote.
Do you though?
Yeah, I've heard this quote. Oh man.
I think this was on Kangaroo Adventures.
Yes.
Kangaroo Adventures.
It was the sequel. This is Kangaroo Adventures 2.
What we do in life
Google it.
echoes in eternity.
You're gonna have to help me out. Tell me.
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
All right.
You
I've
got
seen
5
all
so far.
these movies. It's
Yeah,
frustrating.
well,
to,
I'm impressed
yeah.
with your knowledge
Yeah,
so far.
All right.
All right, my last one is I say we take off, nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Is that the one where they blow up the asteroid that's coming to Earth?
No,
Which one?
that would be
Armageddon or
those.
Deep Impact?
Armageddon.
There's-
I've seen them
there are
both. I
two.
have seen them
Deep
both.
Impact.
They
was
came
one
out very close.
I don't know. I think we're overdue for a new asteroid.
Wasn't Deep Impact
movie.
the knockoff, like where they tried to rush it to?
I think they were both in production at the same time, and then they tried to rush.
What's the one
lot
where
of
they had the
studios do
drilling
that.
crew? They got and they had them train in the NASA pools, and they're
Well,
like, "You need to drill."
We're
in
going on
not
in the
this
sides here, but one of my favorite Key and Peele sketches is speaking of Ghostbusters. Ray Parker Jr. sings the hits, and he does all the movies that he didn't get a released song for, and one of them was Armageddon, and it was like. When Armageddon is here, we better get out of here, looking like a deep impact. And so it's Armageddon / deep impact, looking like a deep impact.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
I'm never sure
All
about
right.
that line.
All
When my
right.
kids
What is
sing.
it? What is it?
So the movie is Aliens
Aliens.
with Sigourney
Okay.
Weaver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 5 so far.
And my final quote is, life finds a way.
Actually, it's life finds a way.
Would you like to restate it?
Life finds a way.
Jurassic Park.
Hey,
Yes.
all right, good job.
Good job.
Well, you got 6, and I'm very impressed.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
6
And I
out of
knew
12.
I knew like some of
Failing
the
gra-
other movies. I just
recognized
couldn't
a lot of them,
recall. Yeah.
I'm impressed. Well, now you get to get a chance to get your revenge on us old men with 12. You said you had 11 and a bonus. Is that right?
Yeah, bonus question. So I have some movie quotes, but I also, because I grew up in internet culture, we also just have some really iconic sounds that people my age could,
hate the
sounds
So some of these are
or videos that
Okay.
if I say something, they would know the rest.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is from a movie. Tell me the movie. If you're from Africa, why are you white?
I know this.
Sounds familiar to me.
Sounds familiar, but
I know it. Do you guys know?
I do not know it.
I think it's from Mean Girls.
If I
That was
had-
going to
yeah.
be my.
If I had to guess, that would have been
Yeah.
it.
Because she was like in Africa as a
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever, not missionary, but she came
South Africa.
yeah.
Okay, this next one, I'm going to say something and you need to give me the correct response to it. Ready? Road work ahead.
Yes, please.
No, I know this one. It's a pun. It's a pun. It's like road work ahead, and there's like a pun response. It's like a TikTok sound or something, right?
It was Vine.
Or like a Vine. It was a Vine thing. Road work ahead. I don't remember.
So I do this every time I pass a roadwork sign. You go, roadwork ahead, and the other person goes, I sure hope it does.
Yes, that's what it was.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
All right.
It's like the road works. Road work. Yeah.
This is from a TV show. I'll do it in the voice, or else you won't know it. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. I can't do it in the...
See, that's why I didn't do voices.
Oh,
I'm not good
brother,
at-
this guy stinks.
Is this a SpongeBob reference?
That is.
Really?
That is.
I have never seen SpongeBob, but I assume
We know that
was
you like SpongeBob.
that was
I love SpongeBob.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right. I ate my twin in the womb.
Sounds familiar to me. Is this a movie?
Yes, this is a movie.
It's a movie.
This sounds familiar. I have no idea though.
Just because I don't know what kind of movies you guys like, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is from Shrek.
Do you have any guesses?
Or the B movie.
You like jazz?
Very Seinfeld.
You like jazz?
That's what
That's
the
all I
younger
know for
generation
the
They like
love
the B movie.
Do they really?
And Shrek. I don't
I
understand.
know they like Shrek. I don't know about the
I think they ironically like B movie.
Oh.
But yeah.
I have no idea.
Give up.
This is from Pitch Perfect.
Oh my gosh. This is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it was the really quiet Asian
Yeah,
girl,
the
and she
quiet-
goes, "I ate my twin."
You needed to say it like that. I would have gotten it.
Okay.
I'm really ashamed for
I didn't
not
want
knowing
to ASMR the audience, like, I ate my twin in the womb.
Destiny's going to be
Because
really
that's how
mad
she
at me.
says
like
it.
that.
I talked about this last night with your wife. I read through these, and she's like, Kyle will
You
know
get
that.
She's going to be very disappointed with me because I was like, oh, I know where that's from. And for some reason, I didn't.
Yeah. All right. This one you get half a point if you know what TV show it's from.
Okay.
You get the other half of a
I
point
didn't know
if
we
you
get
can
to choose
finish
the
it.
value of the points.
Well, I just made up that rule. All right, here we go. Obtuse, rubber goose, green moose, guava juice.
Is it from a Disney Channel original movie of some kind?
It's from a TV show.
I know, but they. Oh, is it from a Disney Channel TV show?
Nickelodeon.
Is it from Sam and Cat? Or what's the other one? iCarly. Is it from iCarly?
It is not.
Fairly Odd Parents.
It is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the rest of the line is
we just-
giant snake, birthday cake, large fry, chocolate shake.
Oh, okay.
Well, we got half a point.
Are we just
Yeah, we
doing
got
random
half.
guesses and somehow?
No,
stumbling
it
into-
sounded. See, I didn't watch
let
that
her
show
guess a
much,
bunch of
but
westerns.
it sounded like the sort of humor
Whimsical.
that's on
Got
that
it.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the theme song. He does it really fast.
Oh,
when all
really?
the fairies make things.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. She called me a noble steed.
Is this a movie?
This is a movie.
Oh, Shrek.
That I'm gonna go Shrek.
That is
Shrek,
Shrek. That
for
is
sure.
Shrek.
I've never seen Shrek.
I saw the
Alright.
first one. I never saw any. of
I'm
the
gonna
others.
do this in the voice, or else it won't make sense. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too bad.
that
No.
Rick and Morty.
It's from Holes.
Oh, okay.
That is from Holes. Kyle's killing it. He knows all the.
Well,
You
we're
have
collectively
kids.
going,
Yeah.
so we
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
Except a tentative guess towards Mean Girls.
Okay, here's
mad at myself for missing Pitch Perfect. I'm
here's
gonna be
another
wrong.
fill in the blank. All right. Hurricane Katrina, more like hurricane.
What?
This is a vine, and anybody my age would know it.
Hurricane Katrina, more like hurricane.
George W. Bush doesn't care about black people.
That's you finish the quote with that. Bob.
Hurricane Katrina, more like hurricane tortilla.
Gen Z is the worst.
They
Can
are.
we just all
They're
agree?
terrible.
You guys don't think it's funny, but this is like iconic things in my. They are so funny to me.
Whoa! Hurricane Katrina! More like Hurricane Tortilla.
Yeah.
Gen Z is worse.
Here we go.
You guys make fun of boomers. Boomers brought us Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Gen Z brought us Hurricane
Hurricane
Tortilla.
Hurricane tortilla.
Tortilla, whatever.
All right. I have 3 more and a
Okay.
bonus.
Okay.
All right, we're
Okay.
ready. We're ready.
Live life, breathe air. I know somehow we're gonna get there.
What is this?
This is a TV show. Sorry.
iCarly.
He's right.
Are you serious?
Good job.
Yes. Yes.
All right. This one might be a little old for my generation, but iconic. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands. This is a movie.
This is a little old for your generation, you said?
I mean, when it came out, I was about 3 or 4, but
Okay, that puts it at like early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
When some of ours came out, we were not alive.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just
Alright,
stuff that
alright.
shaped the generation. Legally Blonde.
yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never seen
Really?
that movie.
Really?
It just felt like it was
Wow.
from Legally
That was
Blonde.
phenomenal. Okay. This one is one of the most triggering sounds, and I say triggering, and I mean triggering sounds from my childhood and anyone my age.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start it, and then you need to finish this
Okay.
phrase.
It's a traditional pronoun.
All right. The fitness gram pacer test is
Here
What?
to stay.
Is this from a Vine?
no. This
Okay,
is
so-
just a
okay,
very
okay, so this
triggering
is-
sound.
It was like a test you guys had to take in school,
Yeah.
and that was like a...
So what happened is in gym, everyone my age and this huge like chunk of people my age, you would all line up on one side of the gym and you would have to run to the other before this ding happened. And then you would have to run back and you would do that the entire gym class.
Sounds like Squid
And they
Game.
played, it was awful.
turns around. The doll
And they-
turns around and kills you.
And they played this track. It was like in a track they'd play it, and it started with the fitness gram pacer test, and it gave you the instructions.
Well, how does it finish?
The fitness gram pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that is designed to get progressively harder as it goes on.
Oh man, that does sound like
What was the
dystopian.
sound like?
Literally a guy that goes, the fitness gram pacer
Wait, but
test.
I thought you said there was a sound.
Like a
that,
buzzer. Like, what is
Oh,
the
it
buzzer?
goes. It was like a ding. It was
Oh,
like a
okay.
really annoying ding
I see.
thing.
Huh,
Yeah.
I never knew that one.
That sounds dystopian. That sounds like
Yeah,
something
it
that would be in a
does.
Yeah.
dystopian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And my bonus question
Okay.
is from a Vine. But who is 19 and doesn't know how to read?
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar to me. It's a person's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't remember what it is.
Is it LeJohn T?
Yes.
What? Why? I just guessed.
LeJohn.
It's Jared, but points for credit.
Jared?
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah,
okay.
he says, "What's up? My name's Jared. I'm 19 and I never learned how to read."
Jared, could you read number 23 for the class? No, I cannot. What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never learned how to read.
Okay.
Cool.
That's cool.
I like LeJohn better.
All right. Well,
Wait, did we really get 9 out of 12?
yeah, I think
Really?
I
Some of
thought-
those were half points.
I feel we got like
or
8.5
something,
out
yeah.
of 12 maybe. But yeah, we'll count it up during the editing,
Cool.
and it sounds like maybe we won. But we also had 3 minds
Yes.
working
I
against
tried to
one.
look for movie quotes, but it's so
half
hard because I feel like there wasn't super iconic. I mean, there was iconic movies,
Yeah,
but we had such internet culture that it was more
That's the problem. It's just
quotable,
TV and
you know,
movies
one-liners.
just
But
watching
she did
these
some half
TikToks.
points.
Yeah.
So if we like made all of ours worth 1 point,
Yeah, we
You
didn't
had
have-
2 half
you had
points.
no chance of winning.
Kyle watches a lot of movies. Kyle watches a lot of women movies.
I'm just mad at myself for missing Pitch Perfect. I'm going to be thinking about that all day. All right, now it's time to talk with Todd Myers. Todd Myers does environmental stuff for conservatives. So he's a conservative who actually cares about the planet. And he's got a new book out. He's going to
Thanks,
talk
Todd.
about ways to... Thanks, Todd. So he's going to talk about ways to maybe like save the planet without giving all our power and money to government. So here we go. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online. Do you ever wish that life came with a user manual? You know, I used to have a 1977 Firebird formula, and I had to buy that, car auto repair manual thing that they used to have. I wish life came with a repair manual like that. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. BetterHelp has connected over 3 million people with licensed therapists. It's convenient, secure, and accessible anywhere. For me personally, talking to someone, whether that's a pastor or a counselor or a therapist when I'm going through tough times, that's been a big help in my life. Everyone deserves to feel their best. BetterHelp makes it easier to get started. Get unstuck with BetterHelp. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BabylonB. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BabylonB.
And now for another interview on The Bee Weekly.
All right, Todd, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's good to chat with you.
Yeah, it's good talking to you again. I know I went up there, did the Roanoke conference a few years ago, and I was fascinated because I got to hear panels from these conservatives who actually care about the environment, which I know isn't I don't know, that's not the stereotype, right? It feels like that's kind of that's kind of not what we think of when we think of conservatives as people who actually care about the environment. But it was interesting because, and you can agree or disagree or correct me, but it felt like you guys have this take where a lot of big government people come in and try to rule things from the top down for environmental causes, and a lot of times it ends up causing more harm than good. We were hearing from people that actually own tree farms, and it's of course they care about the environment. Trees are their livelihood, which was super interesting. So let's talk. I know you got this new book out, how Time to Think Small: How Nimble Environmental Technologies Can Solve the Planet's Biggest Problem. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the book's about, and we can talk about the environment and all of that.
Well, to your point, I am a conservative and I've worked in environmental policy for 2 decades. And one of the things that I have learned over the course of 2 decades is that conservatives actually often care more about effective environmental stewardship than folks on the left, for whom environmentalism is sort of an identity and an opportunity to show how much they care, but they care more about appearing that they care than actually doing good things. And I just remind conservatives, look at a map. Right? Look at where the red parts of the country are and look at where the nature is. And those things overlap. It's the blue parts of the country that we've paved over with asphalt and concrete. I mean, those are the people who claim to care about the environment. And conservatives in some ways have done this to ourselves because we sound like we don't care about the environment, and we need to change that. We need to have the confidence of our own convictions. Part of the reason is that we're worried that if we say we care about the environment, then that's just a Trojan horse for socialism. And the truth is that sometimes it is. And sometimes the environmental left says it is. But what my book is about is, look, conservatives care about the environment. And here is a way that not only fits our values, but actually works better, takes care of the environment, and achieves things that government can't. And so I just wanted to lay that out, the things that I have seen working 20 years in the environment, so conservatives can say, I care about the environment, which is the life they live, while still living up and being true to their values.
So what are some of these technologies? You talk about nimble technologies that can save the planet. You want to distill down a few of those for us?
Yeah, so everybody wants to talk about climate change, but I'll talk about a different one that I think everybody can agree on, which is ocean plastic. A lot of plastic is going into the ocean. It's primarily coming from developing countries. It's a big problem and a big concern. United Nations has a treaty that they say in a few years they'll figure out something to do. But there's actually a group called Plastic Bank. And what they're doing is paying people to go on the beaches and pick up plastic and collect it. And since about 93% of people in developing countries have some kind of smartphone or cell phone, they can geolocate where they picked it up, turn it into Plastic Bank, they get paid. And because many of these people don't have bank accounts, they get paid on their phone. And then Plastic Bank recycles the plastic and sells it to SC Johnson. So when you buy a Windex bottle, it says made with ocean-bound plastic. Now the technology is nothing more than cell phones, really. And then online, Plastic Bank has a map that shows where all of the plastic is. Just doing that, they have collected 3.1 billion bottles, plastic bottles, and 140 million pounds of plastic. And that is far more than any other government is doing. And it's with technology that is nothing more really than cell phones and an online webpage.
And that's any kind of government mandate is running that, or that's just a private company that's doing that?
And in fact, they're doing it in places like the Philippines, in places like Brazil, where government failure is that they're not picking up the trash, right? That's why a lot of this trash is there, is because government has failed. And so these small technologies and market incentives, right, paying people, selling the plastic, are filling in for that government failure. So that's a really exciting example of how big an impact small technologies can be in a way that is private, in a way that is positive and productive, without big government.
Huh, interesting. Well, you mentioned climate change. Let's talk about that since that is what everyone wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Is climate change a hoax? Is it man-made? Is it, what are all the, I know there's different takes on the conservative side.
Right.
And if climate change is real and it is a problem, what are the ways that, you talk about this book on private industry and incentives can actually drive these things, the solutions to these things? What are the ways that private industry can do that?
So I think CO2 does increase temperatures. There is a risk, but I don't like the term climate crisis. One, because I think it's overblown. And two, when you tell somebody they have a crisis mentality, you are not complimenting them, right? What you are telling them is that they are being overly emotional and irrational. But that's why politicians use the phrase crisis, climate crisis, is because they don't want people to be rational. But whether you believe in climate change or not, you want to save electricity because you don't want to spend money. And there's lots and lots of opportunities to do that. And just in California, where you live, earlier this summer, when there was the energy crisis and there were blackouts, California has spent a huge amount of money on batteries, right? We're going to have renewables, and then we're going to store the energy in batteries, lots of expenses. But at the moment when they thought that there were going to be serious blackouts, what the state of California did is sent a text out to customers saying, look, we're facing energy shortages. If you can conserve, please do. Within 5 minutes, the state of California reduced energy demand by more than the value of all of the battery power in the state combined. So think about how simple a message that is, where you just give people a text and it's worth more than all the money that we spent on batteries. There are technologies that can do that every day, whether it's smart thermostats. In my house, I have a little box called a Sense Monitor that tells me exactly how I'm using electricity so I can find ways to conserve and save money. That's money in my pocket. Whether it helps the planet or not, whether you think climate change is serious or not, doesn't matter. I'm saving money. I want to do that. So that's the way that we can align personal financial incentives with the environment. But the other thing is that when politicians fail, right, when they make a mistake or when they subsidize something crazy like hydrogen vehicles, they don't never admit that they were wrong. But if I do something and I'm not saving money, I'm going to change. And so that's why technology and these sorts of and empowering people rather than government is more adaptable and more effective too.
Now, do you have any examples off the top of your head of times that the government came in with the completely wrong solution or something that I'm sure
how long we got?
or came in and just, I know a lot of times it's like they say they have good intentions, and we can all agree, yeah, okay, it's good to take care of the environment, but whatever they do does the exact opposite because they're incentivizing the wrong things.
Yeah, there's so many examples. One of the first things that I did when I was working in environmental policy is I analyzed what are called green building standards, which is requirements that schools and other buildings be built to these green standards. And they promised that they would save energy. And in Washington State, they said, it's going to save 30% on energy bills for schools. Now, 30% is a lot, right? I mean, engineers and architects, they know a lot about energy efficiency. And so if you can just magically find 30%, that was pretty amazing. So I actually did a disclosure request comparing green schools to traditionally built schools, non-green schools in those same school districts. And what I found was that the green schools used more energy per square foot, not less. And in some cases, like 30% more energy.
Why was that? Yeah, why was it?
I know. That's the question I always get is like, how could they have screwed it up that bad? There's a variety of reasons. And one of them is that they argued that bigger windows were better because you get more natural light, you have fewer light bulbs, and you can save electricity. That's true. But windows are horrible insulators. And so in a hot place or during the summer, right, you get a greenhouse. In the winter, the energy goes out the windows, and that more than offsets any savings you get from lighting. And that's what we saw again and again. But again, it is politicians who are not experts in these areas imposing these standards, thinking that they have it all figured out. But when it fails, they don't pay the price. They're not the one paying the extra taxes or other things like that. But they did get to send out a press release saying, look, we got green buildings. And it was funny, I did an analysis of Reno's Washoe County schools, and I got an email from the facilities director for Washoe County School District, and it said, I saw your report, and I am the facilities director for Washoe County Schools. And I was like, uh-oh, He is not going to be happy with me. And the next sentence was, thank you so much for writing this. I have been trying to explain this for years. But he said the school board, they just wanted to have a green school plaque on the wall. So those are the types of problems where people don't have the knowledge and they don't have the right incentives. And technology allows people to have the knowledge and the right incentives that align with the environment, where politicians often don't.
Yeah, that's fascinating, especially because a politician may be long gone by the time the negative effects of whatever policy begin to take effect. I think of, Governor Newsom announces like, oh, only electric cars by this date. Well, whether or not that's realistic, it doesn't matter. He's gotten the kudos for it, and he'll be long gone, maybe in the White House, ruining all of our lives by that point. But that's super interesting. Well, really cool. We want everyone to go check out the book, Time to Think Small, How Nimble Environmental Technologies Can Solve the Planet's Biggest Problems. And that's on Amazon and...
Yeah, it's on Amazon and some bookstores. And, we're approaching Thanksgiving, and every Thanksgiving there are all these funny articles about, how to talk to your conservative uncle about climate change. Basically me, right? They're talking about me. And what my book is an opportunity for conservatives, for people who are on the right and care about the environment, to say, no, that approach, the big government approach, doesn't work. It doesn't solve the problems you care about. Here are things that do. And I can tell you that this appeals across the spectrum, because many of the stories in my book are from people on the left. And the foreword is actually written by a woman who works for a group called Wild Labs, which is part of the World Wildlife Fund. So if you're, anticipating contentious conversations at Thanksgiving or Christmas about these issues, there are some arguments and ideas in here that appeal across the spectrum.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Well, if you guys got crazy liberal family members, pick up the book and you'll have a way to argue with them at Thanksgiving here soon. So awesome. Well, thanks a lot for coming on, Todd. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was very nice to chat with you about this.
Thanks for coming on, Todd, and everybody go check out the book, and we'll have links there in the show notes. Now it's time for...
That was a good one, Todd.
Good one, Todd. Now it's time for hate mail.
I really miss Adam Ford.
Well, I like this hate mail person's name, Patrick Johnopoulos. It's just funny. The Babylon Bee writers are pretty average looking.
I believe that was in response to Kyle saying that free speech is now allowed on Twitter, so you are able to tweet out that the Babylon Bee writers are all extremely attractive people or something like that.
And they said, actually, they're pretty average. Like, okay.
It's true.
Well, we had a video, The 10 Signs to Leave Your Church, which was obviously satirical, and we had some angry comments. This is from Alexander. I couldn't tell if this was supposed to be funny. It wasn't at all. If I was laughing, it was from cringe.
It was from cringe.
Or because someone was pushing down on my chest as I crossed over.
Your true laugh.
Stop.
I hope you guys know I'm doing that to all of you.
I
once this
can't
wraps.
wait.
Everyone in the office, we have to hear.
Subscriber portion.
Here are true laughs. From TP Lamar with 2 R's. In all caps, absolutely your worst video ever, and you probably don't know it.
From Randy Trayer, 96. Please ban Brandon from the podcast. His voice sounds like a self-righteous nerd that has way too much knowledge about useless facts.
Oh, no.
Speaking of which, did you know that the word Lord comes from the Old English word hlaford? Or for ladies, it was hlafdij. You see, back in feudal times, bread and food were integral to survival, and a hlaford was appointed as the guardian to bread or food. And over the course of time, hlaford became colloquialized as the word Lord. And truly, this gives... So ultimately, a Lord was a loaf guardian or a loaf warden. This gives new meaning to the fact that Jesus, our Lord and Savior, is the bread of life.
Brandon, I 100% believe that you made asparagus souffles as a kid.
I did. If you are interested in becoming a loaf warden, go to highlandtitles.com and use promo code BUZZ.
How many places did you have pie memorized to when you were in high school?
Actually, this guy, Randy or whatever his name is, he messaged, I commented on his little thing, his comment. I said thank you to that.
Okay.
And he messaged me privately and he said, I'm sorry if that if that comment came off as overly offensive. That was not my intention. If it did, please forgive me. I can delete it if you want.
So he said, you are horrible and should be banned from the podcast, and you're super annoying. And you're like, I'm sorry, I wasn't mean.
It might have come across a little harsh. I was just giving some constructive criticism.
All right.
I said it's okay. I'm not easily offended, and it's all true.
Last time I was on the podcast, people left a whole bunch of comments about how I have Valley Girl vocal fry in my voice.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what I'm supposed to do about that. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah.
I don't think
get it.
I don't think you have the annoying vocal fry like some girls do.
Yeah, especially living in the valley, like you hear it sometimes. You don't have it very bad. Yeah.
I just say a lot of words wrong. Like I said remnant the other day in a skit.
Remnant.
Yeah.
We just left it
like revenant.
Like revenant with an
Is it patronize or patronize? Someone said patronize.
I messed it
up.
up.
I've always said patronize.
Someone once said Haran on the podcast. That was.
Oh, that was me.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, it was funny because I was reading that paragraph and I said patron, and then I got to the word patronize and I said patronize.
Yeah.
So I said patron and patronize.
Patronize sounds like how a British person. I don't know if they do, but it sounds like a British way.
Don't patronize.
Don't patronize me.
Don't patronize.
I don't remember the specific word, but I was once listening to a Jordan Peterson lecture, and he mispronounced like a very common word.
Bucko?
He pronounced it buco.
But like on stage, he like said this common word, and then he like realized that he didn't know how to pronounce it, and so he asked the audience. He was like, "How do you pronounce?" But it just struck me. It was like you have this brilliant man who's studied philosophy and psychology, and how easy it is to just mispronounce a single word, and there's forgiveness in that.
I wish I remember. I'm blanking on it now, but recently there was a word like that. That's like I've read it all through my life. Like I've read this word a lot, and then I went to say it out loud, and I was like, I've never heard like. There's two ways. I can't think of what it was now.
There's this old.
There's two little things that you could pronounce differently. And I'm like, I don't know which is right.
There's this old quote that someone I heard once. Someone said something along the lines of, "If someone mispronounces a word, it just betrays that they read a lot."
Yeah,
like they don't hear it.
They read a lot as
use,
a kid.
but they just read it.
Yeah.
Kyle and I have this solidarity because we both say bagel.
Bagel.
Really?
That is atrocious.
Yeah, people get really
I like you're like, that means they
it.
read a lot. It means they're smart. We're like, bagel. That is horrible. That is atrocious.
You said it, not me.
He's sorry if his comments came across as offensive or rude.
It was not my intention. I could delete it if you want. MJ can delete it from the podcast if you want.
Oh no, it's staying in.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the podcast this week. We're going to go into the subscribers only portion where we have some bonus hate mail, subscriber headlines, classic article of the week, and we get to ask MJ the second set of 10 questions. So here we go.
Coming up next, for Babylon Bee subscribers.
This is a bizarre moment in the actual trial when he pulled it out and like swung it around. This thing's really dangerous, and his finger's on the trigger. And you're like, oh, jeez.
And the channel would be better off having posted no content.
It's not our news. It's real news.
But it's like, it would be better if the channel had never existed.
Ministry of Truth says Democrats announced plans to make elections safe, legal, and rare.
This has been another edition of the Bee Weekly from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee. Reminding you that AOC is definitely the worst. But we would totally date her if we could.